Good morning from London and a warm welcome from the United Kingdom as CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today it's the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, about 9 miles from central London, filled to capacity with a lot of fanfare for the second NFL game in England. Hi, everyone. With Trent Green, Melanie Collins on our sideline, Kevin Harlan. Thank you for joining us this morning. Well, we're approaching a third of the way through this regular season. We have 2 desperate teams for sure on the pitch here this afternoon.
Well, Kevin, it's really 2 different types of desperation. So let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. After finishing 1-15 a year ago, owner Shad Khan spent a lot of money to convince Urban Meyer to come over and coach his football team. But after starting the season 0-4, Urban Meyer embarrassed himself and he embarrassed the organization. So where do they go from here? It's about rebuilding trust. It's about playing better football, and he's getting better football play out of his #1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. For Miami, on the other hand, they started off the season with high expectations. A year ago, they were 10-6, missed the playoffs barely at the end of the season in the final week of the season, and they started off in week 1 with a win in Foxborough against the Patriots. Since then, they have not won a game, though.
And today, they welcome back their quarterback from cracked ribs, Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, it's important for a healthy Tua Tagovailoa. He's 7-4 as a starter for the Dolphins. He hasn't played in a month, and he's got some fractured ribs. So how he handles all that and how quickly he's able to heal and deal with the pressure that Jacksonville will apply.
And Melanie downstairs, adding to the mix here, a lot of injury issues for Miami.
That's right, Kevin. A number of key issues on both sides. Tua is back, but he's down 2 of his top targets in wide receivers Devontae Parker and Preston Williams. Defensively, the Dolphins are also down their top 2 cornerbacks. Xavier Howard is out, and then Byron Jones, kind of a late add to the inactives today. He was limited all week, tried to warm up today, and just could not get to a place where he felt good enough to go. Sticking with defense, let's talk Jaguars. Linebacker Miles Jack, one of the defensive leaders, out with a back injury today. And then offensively, starting center Brandon Linder out with a knee injury. So Trevor Lawrence and this Jaguars offense will have Tyler Shatley at center today, guys.
Mel, good point. Speaking of Lawrence, you watched a lot of tape on the #1 overall pick this week.
Well, and he had some growing pains like you would expect. Early on, he had his struggles. Only 54% completion in the first 3 games. Last couple of games, 70% complete. We're going to go green and look at some of the things that he's done well and start off with a play he didn't do so well. As a young quarterback, you get stuck staring down receivers. This is what happens. You stare down a receiver, defense is going to take advantage of it and take an interception. Today, he will face a lot of man-to-man coverage. Get the ball out of your hands, find the matchup you like best, and make an accurate throw. They will lean on James Robinson today. The run game got going a week ago. The second-year running back, undrafted. He is 4th in the NFL in rushing. They will look for that run game to get him going.
About 65 degrees in London today. They think the sun's going to come out. Let's go to our public address announcer, Alan Roach, here at Tottenham.
Ladies and gentlemen, to sing the national anthem of Great Britain, British Army veteran Lance Corporal Marilia Simpson.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
And now, with the singing of the national anthem of the United States of America, United States Air Force Staff Sergeant Denver Murphy. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight lights last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Hello everyone, James Corden here. I just wanted to offer some strategic tips to the Dolphins and Jaguars as they play in London today. Now remember, in England, we say zebra, not zebra, so adjust your refereeing insults accordingly. If you win the game at the end, don't say we're going to Disneyland, say I'm going to Chessington World of Adventures. It's not nearly as good, but we'll know what it is. And finally, just have fun out there. That's what this whole multi-billion-dollar industry is all about. Enjoy the game. Back to London.
He is one of a kind. Our thanks to James Corden of The Late Late Show for sharing some good words of wisdom. We welcome you from this beautiful country. It is 16 degrees Celsius right now, 61 degrees Fahrenheit. You see the winds, mostly cloudy. They say the clouds will part as the game goes on. We've had the flip of the coin. Jacksonville won. They have deferred. A look at Brian Flores. A very disappointing start for them. 1-4, 4 consecutive losses after, as Trent told you earlier, a 10-win season. And their hopes are high, Trent, coming into this year.
Very high, but you have to remember back to last season. They started that season 1-3 before finishing strong and nearly making the playoffs at 10-6. So this can still get turned around, and the formula is there that Brian Flores uses.
Logan Cook, who is the punter, is going to kick off. The kicking issues of Jacksonville, a story unto itself. We'll get onto that. As someone who's come out onto the field, they will stop play. The kick will be suspended, and the officials will take care of the situation. This is the second consecutive week that the NFL has been in this stadium, built last year with Atlanta and the New York Jets. And Jacksonville is making their 8th appearance. That's more than any other team in the NFL. And the stadium, we can say, we can attest, is beautiful. Great venue for the National Football League.
Well, it has been a great week, and you consider this is our first time in the stadium,
yes.
and it's beautiful. When you consider, you look at it, just opened a couple of seasons ago, a little over 62,000 people. There has been a real passion for football around town, and you can see that they're excited about having NFL games here. You see the full stadium. The crowd is ready to go now, finally.
And we are too. Jalen Waddle is back for the Miami Dolphins, the 6th overall pick out of Alabama. They traded Jakeem Grant last week. This is going to go in the end zone, die right there, touch back to the 25. It'll be 1st and 10. Here he comes, the 5th overall pick last year out of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa. He will have a 1st and 10 from his 25.
Well, and Melanie mentioned all the injuries that the Dolphins are dealing with. They